didn't like that one at all.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Books and Betches, not to be confused with books and...
solicitors.
What?
I'm Kristin, and with me I have...
Erica.
Maria.
A solicitor is like a lawyer in not America.
This is a book podcast. We swear... we
I'm going to argue my point today.
And we talk about sex. This week, we're doing a top...
You want me to do new things, and then you are like... Fuck you for doing new shit. Every time.
It's not that I just want you to do new things. I want you to do like good.
Yeah, I've said this to my husband before when he like tells me I have to make dinner sometimes. I'm like, you can't demand it be done and be good. Like you pick one or the other.
Oh.
Imagine saying that to like a professional.
It should be edible, but okay.
Oh no, like if you want it to be good, then let me order in.
Okay.
If you want me to cook it, it might not be good. You run that risk.
I think she's trying to distract us from the fact that we hate her. And
hate is a strong word.
Okay.
I put to sleep.
I hate her right now.
Okay. Right.
This episode, we're talking about a topic, and it's one that's going to be a little heated. There's going to be fighting. So if you don't want to hear us fight.
We also need to mention our special guests.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Maria, go ahead.
Oh, well, all right. My darlings, because one of our lovely, lovely listeners, Shelly, is always looking for ways for us to spend time together on Zoom, we were talking about a little get-together on Discord and Zoom and stuff, and we thought, well, fun would it be to have you guys with us while you record live?
So thank you for being here.
You don't see it on
we
camera.
have a live studio audience.
Our live studio audience.
Yes.
And they will be submitting... You can do questions or thoughts, however you feel as you're going through.
Well, the thought process is like people always say that they like are yelling at their screens or like yelling at us while they're listening to our episodes.
So now we get live
and I was
updates.
like, this is how we can get that. Like we've always like kind of played around with the idea of like going live.
A year or two problematic sometimes.
Okay.
So.
That's not Chris. You had to cut something out.
Why
of the last
fuck
episode.
are you looking at me?
We have to cut something out of the last episode.
I don't think I said anything
yours.
bad. I think I spoiled something.
No.
Hold on.
Oh, God.
Time out. You didn't say one of the funniest things about all of this, which is that Shelly, who organized this, is also from Australia. So it's 2 a.m. for Shelly right now.
On a Monday morning.
So I just wanted to point that out. That's fucking hilarious. Thank you, Shelly, for being here. I think, is she in her pajamas? I hope so.
She's in her Snuggie.
Oh, I love that. All right. Well, Shelly, good to see you. Thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We love you all. I don't know what time it is for everybody else. Hopefully it's Sunday and you're enjoying this Sunday.
Just not for Shelly.
Could be doing anything else, but I love that you're here.
Watching us live.
Okay. This episode, like I said, gonna get heated. We've already fought about this, so that's why we were like,
heavily.
Let's just do this on
Multiple
the podcast.
times.
Heavily. I don't think
times.
Actually, it's a long time fucking coming that we haven't done this episode because
Erica
there are things that we haven't even told her that we should have told. No, that's a lie. We've told her our preferences on spoilers and stuff. She just doesn't listen.
No.
But we should have had this conversation in public in the past so that we have witnesses.
True.
Yeah.
Now we have real witnesses, like in person.
So the topic that we're doing today is about spoilers.
And what is a spoiler? What constitutes an actual spoiler?
So the real, you guys make it sound like it's malicious that I do it.
I think it is.
It's not.
I think it is.
I don't consider these spoilers, so to me, it's like
only you matter.
That's not what I meant.
It's just I don't think about it.
But it's like I don't think about it as a spoiler.
You don't think about yourself.
She's right. She's right. We have told you. No. It'd be one thing. It'd be one thing if you did it once in a while or said something and then we were like, hey, dude, like that's still a spoiler to us. You do it often and then you do it multiple times in a row, right? Immediately after.
Text thread, if you didn't tell you anything, you just continue.
It's kind of bullshit when you think about it.
Sometimes I do it to you though because you're either not going to read the book.
Do you see this?
Or
you see?
Targeted attack.
Because you said this. No.
Either not gonna read the fucking book or are gonna fucking hate it anyway.
It was wrong of you to assume she wasn't gonna read it.
That is.
I did assume that she wasn't gonna read it,
and she read both
out of spite.
I was going to read. You don't even know me. If this is what you think. Okay, stop.
True or false? Stop. There are some weeks you come to this podcast not reading the book.
Since she's done
that's
that.
Obvious. That has happened in the past.
So I don't think it's that wild of me to be like.
When was the last time I did that?
I don't remember. We've been not doing it as much because we've had a hard time keeping up with the books. We have, not you.
Thank you.
I don't think I'm fine. Okay. I'm doing great.
Well, I'm trying to not.
Here's the point. Even if I'm not going to read the book, okay, and I don't get to it, I would ask you, hey, Erica, how does this book end? Don't just fucking assume that I'm not going to read every book.
Let's give it to the audience what I actually said and whether or not it was a spoiler.
What's a spoiler? What's a spoiler?
Should I break down what happened?
Yeah.
Or do you have the text thread?
I could pull up the thread. In the meantime, what do you think a spoiler is? What do you think a spoiler is? Everybody listening, reading, type in what's a spoiler. I would love to hear your opinion on what a spoiler actually is. Let's get a working definition. Should we actually do the definition of a spoiler? Because I've never looked that up.
Look it up.
No, you look it up.
I can't. I'm on the.
I was going to get our text thread. Okay, fine.
Spoiler. I personally think spoilers are like spoiling the end of a book.
Just the end? Because there are multiple things throughout the book.
Or what happens at the end.
That's crazy.
I think for me specifically, I don't like hearing people's reactions to certain parts of books that relate to plot, because I start thinking ahead of like, oh, that means this happened, or that means that happened.
I can't wait to tell you how much you ruined this book.
I'm losing the journey to figure out why you thought the way you thought.
Okay, can I give you the actual true definition? The true definition of a spoiler, and then we'll get into these ones. The true definition of a spoiler: a description of an important plot development in a television show, movie, or a book, which is previously known, may reduce surprise, suspense, suspense for a first-time reader or viewer.
Can I see that? I want to see the...
Oh, you're going to check the sources?
No.
It's the fucking dictionary, bro.
No, I want to see
Webster
what the...
dictionary.
Sorry, people are commenting.
All right. Robin said, anything that gives major plot points of a book.
Yes.
Cascat said, I consider a spoiler to be anything that's not in the synopsis. That's a good point.
Ooh,
and Denise said spoiler would be the end mainly and major things that happen in the book.
Yes.
Sarah, Maria, agree. Thank you for agreeing with me. That's it. We can just end it there. If someone tells me they hated something or the thing I'm going to be so mad, I consider that a spoiler.
Yes.
1,000%.
Who said that?
See, that's where Sarah. I disagree.
Yes.
And that's how the definition disagrees with that. Because a description of the plot point is not what I did.
But this is where it's a subjective part of a spoiler.
But you brought up the definition and...
No, I just wanted to hear what the definition was. Because your idea of a spoiler was just the end.
Is that definition?
No,
now?
Yours said whatever spoils the end of a book.
Yeah, but essentially that is what it is.
This spoils a plot development. How you spoil the plot development, I think, matters.
Yeah.
You giving your subjective opinion on how something made you feel could... Let's just talk about...
saying description.
Because your spoiler that you gave us actually genuinely ruined the book for me a little bit. Yeah. And I can explain more about how that happened when we do the actual episode of the book. Yeah. But the entire book, all I kept thinking was, what is this going to be because of how you reacted to it?
Shelley said, if it explains anything that would give away the overall story, i.e. I hate the MMC mailman character, is not a spoiler to me, but I hate the mailman character because they are so mean to the female main character is a spoiler in a way, especially if that is a main plot line.
Yes.
Y'all are so smart.
So bring up what I actually said.
Let me find our text message thread.
Just search menace.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
Saturday morning violence, because that's what she did. She chose violence on a Saturday morning.
Actually, that's not a bad idea either.
No,
violence.
Exactly what you search.
Menace.
That's exactly what you search. I said menace, but closer to the end of
I love how she's coming with this energy after being a menace.
So scroll up. Scroll up.
Yeah, there's a lot of gifs.
Yeah, we had a lot of gifs in there.
Okay. All right, let's start at the
first one.
Top. Should I say the book?
We already told
them.
Yeah, but we didn't tell them.
Everyone.
Just say what I said.
Yeah. So
how about
she said?
I'm gonna say the book. All right. Yeah. If you have not read
Assistant to the Villain,
turn off this episode now. Yeah, and then come back.
Yeah.
And then come back. Because the rest of this episode is gonna have to do with spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're going to do a whole episode on Assistant Villain, so you can go there after you read it. All right. Erica sent a message on June 15th at 7:30 a.m.
7:30 a.m.
7:30 in the morning. Okay? That's all I wanted to say. She said, did not see the end of the villain, damn. Maria responded,
did not see the end.
Yeah, that's how you said it. I think you meant coming. I did not see the end of the villain coming
in my head.
Yeah,
so
I did too. Damn. Maria said, I haven't gotten there, but now I'm intrigued. Say nothing else.
And
then I said, shh, Jesus. That's what I said. And she goes, I know, I'm just surprised. Keeps it fucking going. And then I said, I don't want to know that.
That's the same thing that I said twice, though. That's
you said you didn't see it coming. I'm so surprised. First of all,
that's the same thing.
First of all, I was reading Villain thinking there's going to be no like huge surprising moment because obviously like somebody who betrayed them might just be like in the office and I'm not going to give a shit. Now you're telling me you didn't see it coming. It's a surprise. The entire time I'm reading it, I'm thinking it's got to be this person. It's got to be this person. Somebody needs to know. Oh, the mom is still alive.
I feel like that's a spoiler because you have no fucking idea.
You ruined my reading experience.
You have no idea what I was even talking about.
You ruined my reading experience.
What part of the book was I talking about?
Let's keep going.
Tell me what part of the book
because it gets worse. So I said, now I'm going to be waiting for a damn surprise, which no surprise there. I was waiting for a surprise. I said, this is something we need to talk about on the podcast. Our feelings and emotion spoilers. And it could be our topic. Boom. And then Maria said, what is a spoiler? And then you said, I mean, the whole book is about who is the spy. So now I know the big surprise is who is the spy because that isn't the whole part of the book. No, it's not.
That's the whole plot of the book.
It's not the entire plot of the book. There's more to it than just who is the fucking villain. There's other things. I mean, the spy, like who's the villain? What is their relationship? It doesn't matter. I said, shut up. Please say less.
Shut up.
And then you said, oh my God, it ends on a cliffhanger.
And that's where we just lost our shit.
Why? After we just had this conversation.
We just said it. Please say less.
If I'm upset about something as small as you telling me the ending or the twist is a surprise, if I'm upset about that, in what world, in your fucking mind, did you think, oh, but they'll want to know that it's a cliffhanger. They'll want to know that.
I want to know what's the cliffhanger, so they have to know it's a cliffhanger.
I just don't, yeah, the cliffhanger, yes, but the first one, if I will Venmo you $25 if you can tell me just from that line alone what part of the book I was talking about.
Well,
obviously 70%.
You told us. You said the whole thing is about who the spy is.
I know, but what part was I talking about then?
The part where we find out who the fucking spy is, Erica.
Is it?
Yes.
But I don't.
You were surprised.
But that's what I'm saying. You have no fucking idea. What if my surprise was the cliffhanger?
So what was your surprise, Erica? No, tell us.
I don't even know what I'm fucking talking about with that. That's what I'm trying to say.
You didn't reveal. You thought it was the reveal of who the spy was.
But that was later text messages.
No,
by like an hour.
No,
not even. It was like an hour.
So anyway, you said, "Oh my God, it ends on a cliffhanger."
For an hour. That's what I'm saying.
Shut the fuck up. You put, "Oh my God, it ends on a cliffhanger." Maria, bless her heart, sent about 50 texts in a row and goes, "Oh my God, girl, Kristin, don't read this. Oh my God," trying to block me from reading it, but naturally I read it. I said, "What the fuck, Erica? Why are you like this?" And then you said LMAO because you thought it was hilarious. I said, it's now 8:21 a.m. on a Saturday, and you chose violence. And there's a lot of gifts. And you're like, I hate cliffhangers. As if that's going to like release the tension and we're going to get into a new idea, like topic about cliffhangers. And then I said, I hate what you're doing. So
I don't think a cliffhanger is a spoiler.
I think it changes the whole vibe.
I didn't even know there was a second book.
Yeah,
I didn't either.
Didn't know. You...
I thought we were going to figure this out.
But that doesn't mean that that's necessarily like.
Well, now I know. Now I know that there's more to the story, which to me means that her mom.
I'd love to hear what people say.
I got some more. So Denise said, telling something how something has made you feel like a spoiler because the person you told knows what you hate and can assume from there. So it can be a spoiler if they assume correctly.
Yep.
Shelly, is the spy comments for me? It's a spoiler because you don't know. For a chunk of the book, there's a spy.
Thank you.
Robin, that's the same thing as saying, just wait till you get to ... Erica, that was spoilery. Sorry. Yeah, Robin, tell her. I don't mind. Alexa says, I don't mind knowing if it's a cliffhanger. I kind of like knowing because I hate them. And then Sarah, when we read it, I did alert everyone that there was a cliffhanger. Shelly, I don't personally find it's a cliffhanger is a spoiler, mostly because it's a series, so I expected it to be.
See, I didn't know it was a series.
You going in expecting it to be a spoiler.
Yeah.
Or a series. For me, I didn't realize, I don't mind the cliffhanger thing, but reading it, right, I was getting close to the end. I was like, well, I'm not going to get any resolution now because I know there's a cliffhanger.
Yes. Well, do you know what this did to me?
I don't think that.
Let me go to my personal text messages with Erica because you were still reading the book I had just finished. Okay. So let me go to my personal text.
See, like
this is what you did to me.
Oh boy.
This is what she did to me. I said, "Oh my God, is Eve the real villain after all? She's taking him down. I know it's not you. Bet." That's what I'm calling. And I was like, "Wait, is it her dad?" And this is when I was like still early on. I go, "Is it her dad?" but it's going to be somebody close to her. 3 hours left in this audiobook. Mark it, baby, so I can come back and say I told you so. And then I go, wait, maybe it's her mom. I feel like it's a woman trying to kill him because they keep saying it's a man. And you go, LOL, too many guesses. You can't canvas the whole cast, then be like, I was right. But this is what you led me to. Then I say,
is what you started.
Then I say, we'll see. I'm saying it's her. Lock it in. You go, okay. And then I said, wait, what if it's the frog? So now
I love the frog. To be fair, I didn't respond to any of this shit.
No, she didn't. This is literally all blue of me.
Because she already sowed the seed of the evil.
Because I didn't point you in the direction of who it was.
But the point is that I lost my fucking mind trying to think of a good twist because I knew it was going to be surprising.
So I figured out that it was, so again, spoilers for that whole book now, who it was.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that. I figured out who it was probably 2 chapters before it happened. And even when I did, I was like, well,
I figured out so early on.
why would it be them? They're never around. And I was just like, I don't know if it could be them. But then I wasn't enjoying the story anymore because I was like trying to be a detective.
Yeah.
Trying to figure it out.
That's the
point.
point.
To know what twist would have been that good to make her be like, oh, a twist.
Now, let me say something in your defense.
Oh, wow.
Let me say something that...
Now we defend her 20 minutes in.
In your defense, and also is going to throw a wrench in this entire thing, and you're going to boast about it, and it's going to be really annoying. No. I have to.
No.
I wasn't enjoying the book until...
No! No!
I wasn't enjoying the book until I became a detective. And I wouldn't have become a detective if she didn't spoil it for me. So, fuck my life. Like
I said, you probably spite read the book.
I did not spite read the book. I just enjoyed it more when I was like, oh my God, it's going to be surprising. It has to
do with the narrator because you listened to it.
Don't listen to the audiobook. We'll talk about that in the episode.
That's a different topic.
But does that, I think it affects how you enjoy a book.
Oh, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, I wasn't even invested into it. And then when you told me it was going to be surprising, because in my mind, I was like, oh, it's somebody from the inside. It's probably like one of their friends.
It's like if you, and this is in my defense, all right? Is like, okay, you're in the book, let's say you're like 20% into the book. You know that there's a spy. Because you kind of find out like within like the first 50 pages.
I don't like this argument.
Well, no. So like, right? for me to be like, oh, I didn't see the end coming. I don't think that that's very spoilery.
No, you said it's a
cliffhanger,
was surprised. And I hate cliffhanger.
I don't agree with the cliffhanger thing because I think
I do because I don't like knowing anything. But that's a me thing.
I still think it did change my experience of how I read the book, whether or not it was good or bad. Yes.
For us, it is.
I don't know if that is a spoiler.
For us, it is.
I don't want to know how people, like, especially movies, going in to see, like, Inside Out 3 or something like that, people telling me they're emotional, like, the way that they felt during it.
Then I have to wonder, where did you get emotional and why am I not feeling what you're feeling?
That's the whole time you're sitting there like, all right, when's it going to come? Like, when is this emotion going to hit? Like, it's not even that maybe, like, it's not technically a spoiler, but it's changing the experience of how I view or read something. It is.
I just don't think about what other people think about.
Must be nice.
You, Erica.
Must be nice.
You exist. You also read the end of a book before you read the whole book. Like, you can't even have a say in this.
Say it louder for
the
folks on Zoom.
Well, I don't do that anymore because now I read ebooks.
You read what?
She reads ebooks, so she can't do it.
You cannot lie.
You've done it.
You actually,
it's worse. Context.
No, the only one that I did it for is Crescent City.
No, it's worse because you search specific names. You search
Crescent
things.
City.
Yeah,
Crescent City.
That's more psychotic.
It's a little psychotic.
I'm just saying. A spoiler, I think.
What does everyone else say?
The audio was bad. Yes.
It's so bad.
Shelley said, I don't personally find it's a cliffhanger as a spoiler, mostly because it's series, so I expect it to be. I read that already. I will admit I didn't see the identity of the spy, so I am impressed with the detective moment.
Yeah, I don't know.
But like the reality is like during your reading experience up until that point, there is no way to figure out who said
this.
Is.
Who said this in her? Somebody said if it's outside of the synopsis, I consider it. I think that's a really good point.
That is a good way to look at it
because I don't think
Maria doesn't read synopsises.
I do not,
and that's another point. Is she doesn't want to know anything going. I
want to know nothing going in. I don't want any kind of outside influence on me.
I think influence. That's a good word. Influence. To me, personally, I think influence can equal spoiling because it changes the experience of how you read or view something.
Yeah. Because I also I'm an analytical person. I overthink everything. So when you tell me what you like and why you like it, I'm trying to guess, okay, she liked it. She's like this kind of person. Why would she like this? Or would you like that?
Does that spoil it?
You mean like a star rating?
Yeah.
No, because I don't care about those. That's so subjective for the day. Someone can have a rating for a vibe or a rating because they're being analytical. I can't.
This even happened for me with Red Rising. And this isn't actually like a spoiler, but to me.
That.
So no, Maria, I love you to death. And this is why I didn't bring this up when you said it. You accidentally did kind of spoil something.
I figured I had it. I said,
but it's okay.
I deleted it on my side and
Maria,
I was like, it's still there.
Maria,
it's still there.
It's totally fine.
It happened.
Because you didn't know. You weren't being malicious.
Oh, okay.
No, she wasn't being malicious.
Yeah.
I said to you, I was like, Red Rising, I don't know, like, and you were like, you said, oh, when they get to the school, I kind of just like don't.
I thought you were already there.
That's what, and I assumed that, and I was like, whatever, and I was like, okay, he's getting to a school, and like, I knew, so I think like you being like, it just like went downhill from there. The whole time, all I could think was just like, oh my God, A, I didn't know he was going to a school. B, why is it going to go downhill?
Yeah.
But then again, it wasn't actually a school.
But she didn't, the difference.
That's more of a spoiler
the difference
than anything
is
I've ever said.
She thought that I had already read, no.
Because that's an actual plot point in the book.
I mean, it's in the synopsis that he goes. And
she does
infiltrates.
Agree, though, that it's a spoiler.
Yeah.
She's not saying
I tried to delete it before it went, but it went. I tried to stop my error.
I'm just saying, like, I think spoilers can be
What do you
subjective.
do online then? Like, everything's
I'm not online.
Do you know what it was like trying not to be spoiled by Game of Thrones if you ever missed a fucking week?
I mean, now we're in that world again.
So that's an interesting thing to bring up.
My brother sent me a skateboard clip before I was going to watch Game of Thrones. I think Game of Thrones got leaked or something happened and everybody knew about the one of the dragons. So I was avoiding the internet like the plague. I didn't go on anything, nothing. Social media, I deleted all of it. My brother sent me a skateboarding clip and he's like, hey, can you watch this? Whatever. I opened the clip and I watched it. And I don't know what part of my brain said scroll down.
Comments.
But it's a skateboarding clip. Had nothing to do. And the first comment said, blank dies in Game of Thrones season episode.
What a menace to society.
When I tell you, I have never been
oh my God.
I sat on the floor. I remember sitting on the floor and I like teared up a little bit. And I was like, I did everything because it was an hour before the premiere. I did everything in my power to avoid the spoiler. So I do think like, yeah, sometimes there's so much you could do, I guess.
All right, we got some more here. Robin, true, but Kristin, you enjoyed the book more once you knew. So how do you reconcile that?
Yeah, I'm having a eternal crisis. Actually, after I said that, I started to question everything where I was like, do I want
I hate
to
when you
know?
think too much.
No, it's like emotions. Like, maybe you're right. Like, but it changed. I don't know that I wanted that.
It could potentially impact you negatively that you don't.
Yeah. Like this was the rare case.
There's no like
where it was good.
We don't know if it's going to do good or bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't know if the spoiler is going to make it worse or not.
In this case, I appreciate it.
You need to know the person that you are talking to or ask what they would want to know.
To be fair,
Erica doesn't do that.
I thought you had already finished it.
Sisters of the Villain?
Yeah.
No, I stopped. So I was like 13% in. And because I wasn't listening to it, because I didn't like the narrator, I was like, I'm going to do this like ebook style. I did Red Rising first. So I was like, this is a graphic audio. I can get through quicker.
You had started it first.
I had started it first, but I only got 13%. You should look at my Goodreads updates.
But Kristin, I didn't think one was going to read it, and two,
that's such a shitty assumption.
I didn't think you were going to finish
an ass
it.
Out of you.
To be fair, I didn't think you were going to finish it.
I didn't think you were going to finish Iron Prince, but I didn't go on telling you everything about that. I was convinced, and I never even said to you.
Even if you did spoil something, it would.
I know you don't care,
anyway.
And that's the difference.
Carol said, "I was reading
everything just flow. Like I feel like sometimes I have like a smooth brain.
Question: Could you stop
a smooth brain?
I love that insult.
What imagery? It's just like there's no ridges in there. It's just
moving forward. Can you assume that I'm always going to try to read the book? Can we have that? Okay,
yeah,
great. Thank you.
Yeah,
that book in particular, I just was like, I'm reading it and I'm like, there's no way Kristin's going to like this. She's going to fucking...
Hey, guess what? I gave it 4 stars.
I'm surprised.
And I hate to say it, but I think your spoiler made it better.
God damn it! Based off of books that you have stopped in the middle of before, I was like, she's not gonna fucking like this book.
You're right.
You can't bolster her now because she's
right.
gonna do it anyway.
I'm just saying, I shouldn't have fucking. I think I went in a little bit too hard on the like secondary spoiler. I don't think the first one. I don't think the first one was a spoiler.
Thank you I'm glad we can both admit some of our wrongdoings.
I was
always right.
Yeah, you were always right.
I will stand strong in my first comment not being a spoiler.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Read those.
So
And I don't think the cliffhanger either.
I was reading at work with my old coworker, both reading the same book, and I had a facial reaction, and she got so mad at me.
Ooh.
I was slightly ahead of her in the book, and even just that, she was like, what the fuck?
Actually, yes.
Okay.
No, that's a big one. I saw that online too. Somebody had brought that up.
What are you supposed to do? Not have
You
fucking
can't
facial
have facial expressions? That's different. Go to a different room.
I'm just saying. I agree that, like, yeah, you can't help it. But I do see how if we were in the same room and you were reading and you were like, oh, I think it was like a TikTok or somebody where it was like when your husband's reading the same book and he like makes a noise. Maybe a noise is different, but like, or like going like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That would fuck me up. So I'd be like, where are you in the book? Why did you say, oh my God? And then like, start
But does
freaking
that
out.
really
Stop caring.
I get that, but does it really spoil your reading experience?
Yes.
I think in that sense, it's different. Okay. If it's like a reaction, depending on how they do it, like let's say it's like, oh my God, like, oh, wait, why?
But I've heard people
and then
be
you'll
like,
want to get to it, right?
Maybe.
But not knowing a twist or not, maybe it's when it's negative. Maybe if it's negative, it's like, oh, I don't like this. Then
Negative
then
is,
it ruins
that's
it.
a good point
But
too.
like sometimes people like will be like, I cried during this entire scene.
Don't like that.
And it's like, well, I didn't.
So I'm heartless.
But I mean, no, but I'm saying like that's not a spoiler because I didn't have that emotion reading it, regardless of whether some fucking random bitch 300 miles away.
But then maybe
cried.
you're experiencing the emotion differently because if somebody's like, oh, I cried during this part, it's like, all right, well, now I know it's coming and it's not going to hit me as hard as if I didn't.
Is everything a spoiler then? Just like life?
Yeah.
We're talking about reading.
I will say though, I think there's some interesting, I want to go back to Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was no, I do because Game of Thrones is a really interesting thing because everyone was watching Game of Thrones and spoilers were like there was a lot of debate on like when you could post about
Yeah,
Back when people
afterwards.
yeah.
The memes,
Everybody was posting willy nilly like as the fucking episode was happening. I was
Live
seeing
tweeting.
stuff.
Yeah,
yeah,
live tweeting.
people were live tweeting. It was
like the one
live.
exception. It was weird.
And in my head, I will say the one thing that I always stood true to, I gave at least a full 24 hours of like nothing.
Yeah,
Like just
she's a fucking hero.
No. But my opinion was you like some people are
Well,
busy
she
on
also
Sunday.
did like fucking dissertations
that
on her
was
Facebook.
nice.
So
Yeah,
like,
I did
you
do that.
did like a deep analysis.
like
But-
she came in with like citations and everything.
Yeah.
But you give people one day, like you can't watch it Sunday, great, but you should be able to find 1 hour and 24.
So
to
question,
watch it.
why
if
couldn't
you are that concerned about spoilers?
Why couldn't you do that for us with this book?
Why couldn't you ask, hey, how far are you into this before?
No,
you
what's
start
the
anything?
disconnect?
But that's what I'm saying is like Game of Thrones was like, it was just instant. I think it's interesting. So what leads me to is like kind of like Crescent City and like any of these new books, like whenever the next, what is it fucking called? Emerald Skies, the Fourth Wing book.
Oh,
Onyx Storm.
Onyx Storm. Which is like a fucking
terrible title.
Pokemon.
best stripper name of all time.
A stripper Pokemon.
Oh my God.
But like,
Welcome to the stage.
and there's a lot of conversation about this, right? Like, how long do you give people before you start posting spoiler-esque type things on the internet for books?
Posting on the internet is different than texting your friend and knowing your friend is going to read
We're not
it.
on that anymore.
But I'm just saying, like, I think you should be able to post whatever the fuck you want about the thing that you watched, and like maybe that's a lie.
I don't agree with that.
Okay,
No, you're right. I don't agree.
In circles here.
I don't agree with that either. But I don't know.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it's interesting because Game of Thrones was an hour, right? So like,
Well, we
a book
can
could take
turn off our Instagram. We could
15
turn off your
hours.
text thread.
And you're all watching it together, so that's a good point. I mean, not everybody is, but you're assuming that like
Everyone's watching it.
it's
at
more of
premiere time.
it's an experience that you're like enjoying together. Whereas like a book, like I might pick up a book 4 years from now that like
yeah.
but what's the statute of limitations?
there isn't none.
All right,
Somebody yelled at me for spoiling Silent Patient, and I
go to the crowd.
Yeah.
Let's go to the crowd. Alexis, I was reading CC3 and my coworker was 2 and I couldn't deal with her facial expressions and gasped. Carol, it was such an accident, and I had to try to be more careful. I mean, she can go to a different room. Denise, I think if you aren't enjoying something or are hating it, you can reach out to Erica and tell her or tell you something in a private chat.
Yes.
Erica, this will be your permission to spoil a little.
Yes.
Yeah. Who reads near someone else? That is crazy serial killer behavior. That's from Robin.
But actually, though,
Shelly, Game of Thrones, I remember having to ask, has everyone watched the episode before The Office could chat? You're so kind.
That is sweet.
People, I happens at work for me on Zoom calls, like when Dune 2 came out.
Yeah.
They were talking about it, and my boss was just like discussing a certain scene.
Oh my God.
I muted everyone.
I have to like
I still haven't seen Dune 2, and I was like, how dare they fucking talk? Mute.
The second I hear somebody bring up a movie that I haven't seen yet that's like in theaters, I'm like, don't say anything. I don't want to know. They're like, no.
They still talk.
They go, no. It's not about like the story. But that one part where it was just like, I'm like, no, I don't want to know. I don't want to know anything.
Yeah. We were working and reading, and I'd hear her, and she would run over to see where I was. Alexis, I feel like that she has the problem.
I feel like that's a little
intense.
Yeah.
Shelly, I hate that you need to read those very popular books immediately, or you will get spoiled at the day it launches with no spoiler warning 1,000%, especially with
that's a good point.
Fan art and stuff.
Yeah.
You see that stuff immediately of people posting fan art, and it's like spoiler for whatever it is. And I'm like, well, thank you for spoiling.
Like people have gotten really good about spoiler warnings.
And this is why I like that Discord has spoiler blockers. Yes, Sarah.
It's a good point, but that's another topic of discussion. It's like, when can you post on the internet? Like, when is like Twilight? We talk about Twilight, and it's just like, if you haven't read it by now, you're not gonna fucking read it. I mean, you might, but like, what point can we start posting shit about things that we enjoy?
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what
I
I'm
think
asking.
the internet is a free for all. I think the internet is tough to be able to control that kind of thing. But if it's a friend group, that's where we have to draw boundaries.
I will say though, like you can.
Or just
on
like
TikTok,
lead with
you can hide certain hashtags.
Yeah, I think if you just lead with like, hey, the following is going to be a spoiler, and then you go into it, I think that's fine.
One of my problems though, and is it a problem? I don't know. I just stopped fucking doing it. But is like you're creating content, right? And like the joke is a spoiler in it of itself to some degree of a new book, right? But the clip of audio is so fucking fast that I can't put a spoiler over it. Like, or you can't read the text. Like, what am I supposed to do?
And some people don't read captions until after they've already seen it.
So it's like,
but also like, isn't it your responsibility to like, if you're really, really, really obsessed with something that you're trying to avoid the spoilers, I think it's also a little bit of your responsibility to like not go online. Like that Game of Thrones thing.
How long?
Until you watch the thing or you read the thing. Like if you care that much, it's the same thing as like readers and authors' spaces or whatever. Like you say this all the time. Like you can't control what other people do.
I know.
You can only control how, like, you know what I mean? Like at what point are we taking responsibility and being like even the skateboard clip that why did I scroll to the fucking comments?
Because it's intrinsic in us to keep scrolling.
Right. But that's on me that I saw that stupid. I mean, that guy sucks.
God forbid you had to read.
But like that guy sucks. Yeah. But at the same time, like I couldn't have waited one more hour to avoid the internet. Like
you wouldn't have known a skateboard video would have that though.
Still, I do think like.
You probably thought you'd be like, cool, sick trick.
If I'm that crazy about it, like, yes, I should just watch the thing and like,
but you've accidentally run into spoilers.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
I get so mad about it.
Do you get mad at the person?
No,
like we don't need to be on the internet.
At the person? Yeah. At the situation, the person.
That's the difference. At the end of the day, we don't need to be on the internet. Nobody not nobody.
Like for Bridgerton Part 2, right? So Bridgerton Season 3 was split into 2 parts. I watched the first one the day it came out. And Part 2, I didn't know what day it was coming out. I only found out because of you lovely folks on Discord being like, it's out. And I'm like, is it? Okay. I didn't watch the trailer for Part 2. I didn't go on anything for YouTube for Part 2 because I knew there would be comments of something of some sort. So I avoided it until I knew it was going to happen. And I watched it.
That's what I'm saying.
The day it came out.
Now, if you're out and about and you hear somebody talking about it, like that is completely out of your control. Yeah, or if your friend texts you without telling you that they're going to spoil something, that's out of your control. And they're the only asshole in that scenario. Yeah. So
I wonder, like, what disorder do you think I have that, like, I just don't think like that?
I don't think it's a disorder. I think it's just a characteristic.
Like, genuinely, like, I can't tell you how much Bridgerton Season 3 shit that I've, like, ingested.
But you don't like Cullen, so...
It, again, smooth brain, like, just slips over me. Like, I could not tell you a single thing.
You don't retain any of it?
You know, as much shit...
Really?
As much shit as I say about it.
Must be nice.
People who don't know us, like, come on this podcast might think, like, do they hate each other? And it's just so funny to me because, like, as much shit as I talk on the podcast, like, when this is all done, I'm just like, man, I love this about you.
I love it about her, too.
Like, I love it so much. And it like...
One of my favorite things about her.
After we had that text conversation, I was, like, so happy for the rest of the day. I was like, that was so ridiculous and so fucking Erica.
I think
I love it. Don't change. In general,
our whole text thread.
Don't change.
I think what my last thing was like, this is the worst and best thing to happen to me today.
You did say that.
I think I'm just like I wouldn't call myself like somebody that's like, you either love or hate. I think but I do think in moments I am a love or hate type person.
I don't know. I just think that you just are who you are.
Some people would be like, this girl fucking sucks. It's like,
I don't think so.
Like,
I think you're just
but
funny.
not like all the time. Like those, you know what I mean? Well, like whatever. But again, like I just don't, my brain doesn't work in that way. Is it the ADHD?
No, it's just who you are.
I just don't think like that.
Okay. I think too much.
This is why we're all different, because it'd be boring as hell if we were all the same.
Imagine if we were all the same on this podcast. No one will listen to it.
In this world.
Robin, we have to be responsible for ourselves. And that is what Shelley was saying. If we want to know, we just need to read or watch immediately.
Exactly.
Alexis, if I get spoiled online, I blame myself. It's my own fault for reading comments, fan art, scrolling like something is newly out. But if you don't know what's happening...
No, it's true though, because you
Shelley,
don't
I think it depends on the spoiler too. If Erica spoiled a plot point, but people have spoiled... Like, not only that, wait, hold on, it moved. I think it depends on the spoiler, too. Like, Erica spoiled a plot point, but people have spoiled, like, not only there is a spy, but who it is, and then all the clues we got dropped. Like, there are degrees of spoiling. I think so, 1,000%.
That's an interesting
There's
thought.
definitely a degree.
There are def degrees of spoilers. There are spoilers, and then there's spoiling the whole book. Yes, I think so. I agree.
I agree with that.
There's if you say all these things...
Like a baby spoiler?
Yeah, mini spoilers.
Little mini spoil?
Mini spoils.
A baby spoiler.
Like a little too much salt?
Okay.
Overall, I think
it's too heavily salted.
This whole experience was interesting for us. It was a very...
I feel better though. Do you?
I think it's been a cathartic moment.
I feel good.
I think about this, right? I think about Iron Prince. I looked at the fan art before I finished the book.
There's not a lot.
Even before I started.
There's like
no,
two
but remember
things.
It's that one scene with all the people?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at it and I was like, a lot of people will say that fan art is a spoiler.
I think so.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the picture and let's say there was like 6 people on the picture. I looked at them and I only knew 2 of them.
Which is wild because you had already met another one of them.
No,
she met Arya.
No, I think I had already read like maybe like 3 chapters.
Yeah.
Right? And I just wanted to like kind of get an idea of like who some of these people were. And I see 6 people and I'm like, I don't know who the fuck any of these people are.
It's a good point.
And I don't even think about it.
Yeah.
How is that a spoiler? It is a spoiler. People say that this is
because
spoiler.
You didn't know that they were going to have cats. You didn't know they were going to have like these.
Shit.
It would have spoiled it for me. Also, I don't like seeing.
I don't even know what they are. I don't even know what I'm looking at.
I don't like.
You know what I mean? Though, like you don't even know what you're
like,
looking at.
I don't like when it's scenes that are not even in the book.
I don't like seeing
fucking
representation of a character that I would like to create in my own head.
That too.
It's the same as like I refuse.
You don't forget though.
I refuse to watch a movie before I read a book. Like if the movie's about the book,
that's actually a very interesting point.
Because if I had watched Harry Potter first before I read it, or Game of Thrones, let's just say, I have never read Game of Thrones and I never will.
Nope.
Because I already watched the show and now I already know what they look like in my head. I'm not able to make my own characters and I just like don't care about it anymore. Like I need to be able to like visualize stuff for myself. So fan art, shit like that, I'm like, well, now I have a face to something that I would like to have created.
Even I don't know.
I would like to look at it after and be like, oh, that's a cool representation.
Definitely degrees. Robin said the cover of Iron Prince is a spoiler.
It is. You're
Shelley,
right.
I haven't read Harry Potter partly because I find the first one badly written, but also because I saw the movie, so I get bored. I tried reading Harry Potter after it came out.
The cover of Iron Prince is a spoiler, and so is the synopsis. The first line says Raiden Ward would become a god. So
I pointed that out.
You did point that out, and I agree. I kind of agree.
Sarah said I did get spoiled. That's why I don't read synopsis. Sarah said I did get spoiled about Lydia being an important character in CC2 because of the art. The artist did a piece of her, and if it wasn't important, why would she draw her? That's a very good point. I think about that all the time when I see fan art.
That's a really good point.
Fan art of things that actually happen in the book are spoilers, but a lot is made up shit, and it can ruin the read because you're expecting that 1,000%. There are things like what we're saying a lot, like Spoke of the Air series, like the Cruel Prince series. The fan art made it seem like there's this very big like love story between them, and not really. It's like there, but it's like,
can you tag fanfic? Because to me that's fan fiction.
No, it's fan art.
Alexis said I get spoiled by fan art all the time, especially if it's a series. I want to say that I like, you know what? I don't know. I want to say that that's true, but at the same time, I I feel smooth brain sometimes, and I don't.
I would love to have
it.
a smooth brain. Give me a smooth brain.
I would take a smooth brain too with the book. How do you just
don't retain it?
I just don't get how that. But it's not even the image of them. It's,
like I look
it's
at
what
it,
they're doing.
Yeah,
I look at it and I go.
We're spoiling a lot of books right now.
I look at it and I go, huh? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what's going on here, and then I scroll and then I never think about it again.
I wish I had that.
I don't know.
I wish I had a lot of
what
things.
disorder is that ADHD? Is it just
I'm
the
not
ADHD?
gonna call it disorder, so I don't think it's a negative thing.
Maybe everything I ever forgot is like back here.
It's I would have just spoiled it if I said it. So never mind.
What?
All right, nothing.
See, I love
nothing.
spoilers.
Okay.
Because they don't fucking affect
We did it. It's a good 45-minute episode.
Have you seen it?
Whatever it is.
Okay. All right. I wonder if we just like leave this on for the rest of our.
Xena.
If you guys want to stick around for the rest of our recordings, we could just leave it on. And we got to do Villain and then Red Rising. So we have 2 more episodes that we recorded left. If you guys want to stick around, you can, and we can talk to you and
Close
have
out.
comments. But if you have things to do on a Sunday, I understand.
Whoa, we gotta say, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel.
I
We
fucking
forgot
hate
to
it.
say it like that. It just
I
comes
hate
off
you.
so like mean.
What do you mean?
Like you just hate that weird.
No, she hates that. I don't.
I don't like asking people for things.
Okay.
Like I don't like.
You want us to have more.
No, but like,
followers, though.
okay, when I watch a YouTube video and somebody's like, make sure you subscribe to the channel, I'm always like, fuck you. Don't tell me what to do.
Do you know
I
what?
like that.
Do you know what? How little effort it takes to just click the button.
I don't like when somebody tells me what to do.
Genuinely, I
All
don't
right,
either.
Don't subscribe.
Anytime somebody says to smash the like button, I'm like,
Let's
can
just
you?
say it
Can we
like
not?
that.
Can we not?
Smash that like button.
So anyway, subscribe to our YouTube, please.
Oh my god.
Please. Erica would really appreciate it
Yeah, she
if you
herself is
subscribe to our
asking for this.
YouTube. All she wanted for Christmas and for her birthday and for anything is for you to subscribe to our YouTube.
You're gonna feed our family.
No one's saying
I
that.
do say that.
The ones you're watching.
I don't watch it.
Thank you so much for being here. And you can also follow us on Instagram. Erica would actually appreciate it because that's where she does most of the stuff. And she has no problem telling you to go over there. Just look up books underscore Betches, BETCHES. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for our friends on Discord. You can join our Discord too. I actually want to promote that because it's really fun and we get people like this who are amazing and show up, and it's 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. for Shelly, and here she is talking to us. So thank you.
Shelly, oh my
we
God.
love you all so much. I love this community that we have and the friends that we've made along the way. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Subscribe.
Oh my god.
I will murder you.